The power of gratitude. I had a lot of great childhood memories with my grandparents. My Aunt Sylvie and Uncle Ray had a cabin on the Greenbrier River in southern West Virginia. Now, it's not the typical river that you hear about in West Virginia that is the New River that has the Class 5 rapids and you see the pictures of the people in the rafts going over and falling out. The Greenbrier River is very serene and calm, but it floods every couple of years, and so it floods all the cabins that are nearby. But people still own cabins on the banks of the Greenbrier River, and my Aunt Sylvie and Uncle Ray did. And it was your typical cabin, you know, it was a little 3-bedroom. It had the twin beds in one room, and you know, you had the hand-quilted comforters on the beds, and it had the wooden floors that you really didn't hear the creaking of the wooden floors except in the middle of the night when I got up to go out to the two-holer. That was the Cadillac of outhouses. Now, it wouldn't be so much fun today as an adult, but as a kid, it was great to get up in the middle of the night and go through the woods to the two-holer. Well, my grandmother usually got up and went with me to protect me from all of the wild animals that were going to eat me up on the way. So one night, she goes with me, and on the way, she lights a cigarette to kind of light the path, and we get into the two-holer, and we both sit down, and all of a sudden, she screams bloody murder and grabs me and runs outside. And I'm screaming, Nanny, Nanny, what's wrong? And she said, a snake just bit me on the butt. Well, by that point, my grandfather and Aunt Sylvie and Uncle Ray had run out of the cabin. Granddad has a flashlight. He grabs a shovel on the way, and he goes into the outhouse. And we're just waiting to hear him wrestle with that snake. And we hear him laughing. He comes out holding Nanny's cigarette because she had sat on her cigarette and thought that a snake had bit her. What I didn't realize was that as I was writing these stories, because every blog was about 400 or 500 words, and it related somehow to what I gave away for the day. But what I didn't realize was that I was showing how grateful I was for my past. And whether it be my friends that read it, my family that read it, I was experiencing what it felt like to be grateful every day. Well, then I saw this study. They took a group of 6th and 7th grade students. The Journal of School Psychology reported this study. And so what they did was, for 2 weeks, they had these kids write 5 things every day that they were grateful for. And then 3 weeks later, they asked them, what do you think? You know, how do you feel? They had good life satisfaction, less envy, they were happier with themselves, and had better self-esteem. Compared to the other group, which was the group that wrote 5 hassles every day. And then 3 weeks later, they found out that they were the ones who were getting into trouble, that were not happy. Just listing 5 hassles a day for 2 weeks made all the difference. They did another study that was reported in the School Psychology Review, where that they taught kids, elementary school kids, about giving and gratitude. And then they asked them, okay, you've got this PTA thing to go to, and so we'd like for you to attend. After the PTA, the kids that had been taught about giving and gratitude, 44% of them wrote thank you notes without being asked. The other group who hadn't been given the classes, there were only 24% of them that did it. What they found was their grade point averages were higher, they had less depression, envy, and they were more productive. What does that mean for adults? You've probably seen the Gallup poll that says that 70% of U.S. workers are disengaged at their jobs, that it's costing $450 to $550 billion annually. See, I believe that we're not just disengaged on our jobs. I believe we're disengaged in life. I had a friend that called me the other night about a mutual friend, and she said, she's a shell of herself. She's nothing like what she used to be. She has no spark. And I think a lot of us drive into our bat caves, close the garage door, and what happened at work carries over to home, and what happens at home carries over to work. And I didn't realize it, but I have become disengaged in life also, because I had this job that took me so many hours a week, whether I was working or whether I was thinking about working, and there wasn't much else there. So I wondered if this year full of giving was going to teach me something about re-engaging in life, and I think it did.